Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 252 Defender. It's the Tier 8 Soviet Heavy, the premium Soviet Heavy, and it's located on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay. And it's under the command of RazerTeck. Now, he's alongside an M40. And this is a dual video, a double feature, because he's with his platoon mate, Max Shepard. And we're going to see the replay from both perspectives. So we're going to follow RazerTeck first, and then we're going to see what Max Shepard saw shortly afterwards. Now, the Object 252 Defender hasn't been on sale for a little while. In fact, I think that the last time it was on sale was actually Christmas. It hasn't been on sale since then. But it is a particularly nice Arty. Whoops, sorry about the scenery there causing in the way. It's a particularly nice heavy, rather, I should say. In fact, a lot of people like it because it's almost, well, very difficult to kill. It's an IS-3 clone. It's got some of the attributes of the IS-6, the flattened turret and everything. The IS-3 turret is much more rounded, but it's got the same piked nose. And it's got a 122mm gun as its main armament. And we've got a target, a Carnarvon. He's dialing in. Yeah, he's going to go for the Carnarvon. You can see that. Waiting for the right shot. Gets a shot into his side. 474 hit points. Now, it's a 12.66 second reload for this one. He isn't using premium consumables, which would speed it up a little. Obviously, you also need to use a rammer to speed up the reload. I always recommend actually using a rammer. Now, I think you can see there's also Tiltratt, and he's also in this platoon. Tiltratt's also a member of What Arty Noobs, as is RazerTeck. Now, they're moving forward. He's having a quick look round. We know that there's a couple of enemy right at the end of the road. I think he's going to side scrape to see if he can spot them. No, it's going to pull out around quite a bit. No sign. Whoa, I think that was a friendly tap on the rear from the KV3. Yep, he's got some company here. Tiltratt's going around the corner, but the KV3 is trying to use RazerTeck as extra armour, which is very unfriendly when you're trying to play the game properly, and he's pushing you back. Yeah, you see he's pushing the angling wrong. Now, if RazerTeck got hit right now, the shell would probably penetrate if it came straight down, but I don't think the enemy's there. But he's going to let those two bozos move forward, and hopefully they'll spot the enemy for him. Right, there's somebody up there. RazerTeck can get a shot into them. Yep, just pulled out in time, but he was spotted, so he'll have to pull back. Right, where's Tiltratt? There's Tiltratt. He's got a Samoa SM. That's the 5-shot French heavy. And I think that RazerTeck's going to try and put a shot. Oh, now we've got heavies to deal with at the other end of the road. Wait until he's fully committed. Aim for either the lower plate. Yes, he does, but he doesn't go through, and he bounces around from the M4. Tiltratt's trying to get the same target. Looks like Arty rounds are going in as well, because I can see some Arty shells arcing through the sky. I wonder if he's going to try and go the other way around. He's been spotted. There's an M4 there as well. Okay, he's not looking this way. Oh, yes, he gets that one through his upper plate. 395. Can he shoot between the arches? Well, probably. He's going to have a go. It's a difficult shot. I think it's probably too difficult. Oh, now he bounced around there from that AMX M449. So we've got a 45 and a 49 in close proximity. Right. Fires around in, bounces the one from the 49, the Liberté version. Oh, it's not the Liberté version, sorry. It's the one without the camo. But his round is blocked as well. And I think that round hit the wall. I don't think the M449 is going to come out to play. Oh, he is. Silly boy. Going for the upper plate again. Can have a go. I think Tiltratt's lost a fair bit of health actually, because he's down to half his health against. Oh, well, gets a good hit there on that 49. 441 hit points. Now they're down by 2 tanks at the moment. So going to have another go at that 49 if he comes back. He'd be a silly bunny to come back. Tiltratt's lost another quarter of his health now. In fact, actually, the other M4's gone the other side. You can see that now. He's with the 45 is with the 49, and we just lost Tiltratt. So, which side are they going to come? I think there's a good chance that they're going to come down that alleyway. Okay, he's going to chance his arm. He's going to go straight ahead. Looks like they're going around the back of the buildings. In which case... Okay, he's just checking. I think he wanted to see, was it possible to get his lower plate? And I don't think it is. He wasn't fully hulled down. KV-3's gone down. He was taken out by the T-34 2GFT. That's the Chinese tank destroyer. Now he's still got full health, but if he gets close with those AMXs, they could do a lot of damage to him very quickly, especially if there's 2 of them. Now I don't think he's got anything to worry about from the hill. Oh! The M445 went through the gap, so we could have fired through the gap there. He's using APCR to make sure he goes through. There's one of them. Just poking the corner. Oh, that one bounced off his front armour. And he's bounced one as well. Given the number of tanks on the hill, the T-34 2GFT, Carnarvon, and the 2 tanks ahead of him, it would be difficult to go on his own straight into that position. But if the Carnarvon comes down here, he can finish him off, and that will make things a little easier. I think the Carnarvon is going to go the other side of those buildings, so it might be a good idea. There he is. Oh, there's the M4. Oh, we took a 276 hit point hit. Now go for it. He's reloading. We'll take out the Carnarvon. Try and take out the 2 T-34. Hopefully that Black Prince and the other tank will deal with the T-25 too. The enemy is closing in on the cap area. There's the T-34 2G. He's been spotted, but he's being ignored. Finishes off the T-34. That's good. That was one of the big threats, because if that one shot into his side as he was trying to make his way down this road, then that will make a huge difference. Now he's got the wreck as cover. There's one of them. Oh, and he takes the M445 out. 239 hit points. Now the other one's a one shot. He's only got 92 hit points. He's being hit by the Carnarvon. I'd go for the Carnarvon, but yep. No, he bounced that one. Use the wreck. Take the Carnarvon. Just took another shell from the Carnarvon. 263. He's going for the cupola. and finishes off the M449. Here comes the Carnarvon. He's now a one-shot. Going for the low plate. Oh no, we're going to go for the side. No, we bounced it off him. Okay, almost loaded. Can come around and finish off this Carnarvon. Locked on, auto aim. No, going lower plate. And finishes him. 179 hit points. There's only 3 of them left on his team. Now Max has come up to the harbour area. He's just by the church now. And it looks like the enemy is probably near our cap. There's only 2 of them left now. Okay, so it's stand by to repel boarders. Max is going to stay in that corner near the church. And RazerTeck's going to try and defend him. There's the T-28 pilot. Prototype, rather. He's angled at the moment. Oh! Went into the tracks. Can he get a return shot? Yes! 241 hit points right into the side. T-28 prototype couldn't stand that shell from 122mm and it took him out. Right, there's a P43 turret, a T-29 and 3 Artys to deal with. It's a good reason that they're actually staying where they are behind these buildings, because it's very difficult for the Arty to shoot at him from that angle, and these buildings will obstruct it from any other angle. So unless the Arty goes to grid square A9, they're going to have difficulty trying to shoot RazerTeck. But if he comes out past these buildings, they can shoot him. No sign of them yet. Max is going to the corner so he can assist RazerTeck once he makes his move. The enemy is more than likely going to start capping soon to force RazerTeck to come back to the cap. And that will give all of his Artys the opportunity to start shooting at him. So I wonder, is RazerTeck going to try and make a dash for the enemy cap? No, I think he's having a quick look behind him. He was spotted. There's the P43. Okay, lining him up for a shot. He's hiding behind that house. It's an indestructible house, I think. Or is it? I'm not so sure of that. There's the P43. And he finishes him off with one shot. Now this BL13 can do 440 alpha. It's got a brilliant way of doing a one shot. Now, who's indicating the other end? Well, it's Tiltratt, who's a Philox. He's indicating grid square A9. That's where he thinks the Arty is. And someone is capping. Now, that's probably the T-29. So, RazerTeck's going to go back and deal with that. Max Shepard's going to wait behind the building, I think. I'd be very surprised if this is one of the Artys, because he won't last very long if he is. As far as we know, the T-29 is still full health. There's the T-29. No, he's not full health. 5% of his health. And I think he can creep up on that T-29. He's waiting for the cap counter to get up high enough, I think. And then he's going to make his move. And that's an instant defender medal if he does. Okay, now he's going to move. There's the T-29. He's been seen. Now enemy Artys should be starting to fire. Oh, he was spotting for Max Shepard. And oh, the enemy Arty starts coming in 3 shots almost simultaneously. It wasn't that nice. He spotted for Max Shepard, allowed Max Shepard to deal with the T-29, and I think he's probably picked up the Defender medal. But now RazerTeck's got 6 kills. Max Shepard's got 2. There's a possibility here. Now he's still spotting that GW, but there's only 25 seconds to go. He's loaded with standard AP. Arty round kills him. Well done, Max Shepard. Now, 10 seconds to go. I don't think it's enough time to find the other Arty. So I think this is probably going to be a draw. Yep, sadly it is. And here's the replay from Max Shepard's point of view. He's in the M40, the Tier 8, or the M43 I should say, the Tier 8 American SPG. And Max Shepard's in Philox, as is Tiltratt. Now he's just moving back amongst the planes for the moment. I'm not sure if there is any camo quality from those aircraft, but it's not usually a place that other people will fire from. So it's not somewhere where you're going to be expecting to look for a counter battery. There must be some camo quality to those aircraft. Okay, so he's aiming for the centre. Nothing turned up yet. Right, there's the Progetto. Now, if you remember, at this moment, the Carnarvon was backing away, and RazerTeck was about to shoot him. Fire a round in, hit the Progetto. There's the round from RazerTeck hitting the Carnarvon, and I think that shot was pretty close to the Progetto. Now, we've got a fairly long reload, I'm afraid. 44.1 seconds on the M43. 8-inch caliber shell. You can only carry 16 rounds for the battle. And that's why you really have to work hard, because you're not likely to use all your shells during any one battle. Unless, of course, the battle lasts the full 15 minutes. And then you'll probably use the last one as the last few minutes of the game run out. Okay, it's loaded, but there's no targets to fire at yet. Got an IS on the west side. Looks like Max Shepard is waiting for a sign of the enemy on the centre line, so he can assist Tiltratt and RazerTeck. But the enemy are moving forward on the west side. No, he's going to go to that IS. See if you can put a shell into him. Dialing in. Oh, it might hit the lip. Oh, he's very lucky. It went over the edge. Actually, he had the aiming was actually showing that the shell should actually hit the lip of the ground, lip of that rise. But the shell did go long and actually landed over the rise. But just as he's fired, the Progetto comes into view in the centre. But the Progetto is receiving fire, so that's not a problem. Now, if you remember at this moment, we were playing cat and mouse in the city with the AMX M445 and the 49. And in actual fact, RazerTeck was having a lot of problems with his teammates pushing him out the way. Round out on the Carnarvon. No, it hits the building. I don't think it was fully dialed in. Now, what Max Shepard's doing now is quite a good idea, actually. Relocate. I think if tanks keep getting hit from the same position, they will sort of like work out which direction the enemy Arty is and signal to their own Arty. That's where the trouble is. And then you're inviting a counter battery. Just trying to get a shot down there. Nope. But it looks like Tiltratt managed to, or was that RazerTeck, managed to get around into that M445. P43 Turs pulling back. Oh, somebody's shell hit that target. I think that may have been the GW Panther. Okay, the projectile's in sight. He's very low on health now. And now we've lost him again. Now at the moment, the enemy seems to be doing fairly badly on the west side of the battlefield. They've only got one tank move forward, the IS. Two, the T-34-100. We appear to be defending quite well, but as you remember, the enemy, our team collapses on that side. And so far they haven't done so, but it appears that they fell to a T-34-100. And the round goes in on the Carnarvon, 267 from Splash. It wasn't a direct hit, but the enemy lost their Progetto, and 2 rounds hit the building, and he has picked up some stun assists off the Carnarvon. Looks like there was a piece of wood there drifting in the wind. He's trying to get a shot on the M445. You can just about get one in. Oh, that was around. I think that was from Tiltratt. Round out on the AMX M445, and he's actually damaged both of them. He put the shell between them and splashed both of them. But they're down to 3 tanks on the west side of the battlefield, and the T-29's moved up. And if you remember, that was the T-29 that ended up in the cab. And the enemy is now advancing, so this is going to get rather dangerous for Max Shepard to stay where he is. He's focusing on this Carnarvon at the moment, because this Carnarvon is a danger to his own team. That KB3 that's moved ahead is being taken apart by the Carnarvon. And he hit them! He hit him! Got a direct hit on the Carnarvon. We've only got 2 tanks defending on the west side now. And the enemy's got 2 tanks, a T-29 and a T-28 prototype. And you remember, we're going to see those later on as RazerTeck takes them out. Or rather, the T-28 is taken out by RazerTeck. T-29 is taken out by Max Shepard. No, that tank's pulled too far back to get splash on. It looks like he's turning around. It could be a good idea to go back to the previous position. And now Max is in dire threat. The T-28 prototype is getting very close. He's noticed this. He is adjusting his aim. I think he's going to try and get a shot into the T-28. But I think he's a little too close now, and he needs to get out of there quick. Fires a round in. Gets a hit on the T-28 prototype. 398 hit points, but he needs to get out of there now. He's got too long to reload. 44 seconds is way too long. He's not going to survive. The Charioteer's gone. There's no other defenders on this side of the map, so he needs to get out of there. The GW Panther needs to get out of there as well. The nearest enemy tank is just short of 500 meters away. Looks to me like the GW Panther is going to make a last stand in that corner. Or is he moving? Now he's backing away. He's going to try and get over the ridgeline. Max Shepard's doing the right thing. Get out of there as quickly as you can. Go to a new firing position and fire from there. In actual fact, what he's doing is he's moving down to the town. And then you can see RazerTeck. And he's dealing with the enemy ahead of him. Now Max Shepard's aiming for the T-25. Goes long, but he still gets 100 hit points of splash. Now unfortunately we just lost our GW Panther. But the enemy's lost their T-34 2GFT. And it used to be that on Fisherman's Bay we would use this position as a last ditch redoubt to actually defend against the enemy. And Max is trying to see if he can establish a firing solution on the AMX M449. And I think there's a building in the way which is stopping him from doing that. Yep, it's this building nearby. Ooh, this is very dicey. He needs to get out of there. That T28 is getting very close. In fact, our T25-2 appears to have turned blue. He may actually have hit one of our own tanks by mistake. Okay, T25-2's gone down. There's the IKB-90. Oh, he got a splash kill. 76 hit points. Very nice. That's his first kill on the board. And of course, there's Carnarvon. He's gone down to RazerTeck. And Max Shepard's going to seek shelter behind the church. In fact, actually behind the other row of houses. Now, I think at this point he was thinking about advancing and going all the way to the enemy end, but I suspect that he changed his mind and said, well, maybe I can actually help RazerTeck out by actually firing at some of the targets he's seen. Yep, he noticed the T28 prototype. RazerTeck's going to intercept. And the T28's down. 241. Okay. Now from this position he can't fire at the cap because those buildings are in the way. So he's going to have to move a bit closer, possibly up this same road, and then he might be able to shoot in that direction. Three minutes 37 seconds on the clock. They're running out of time. Max Shepard's got 1,046 hit points of damage and 755 hit points of stun so far. As you may know, the M43 is actually based on the chassis of the M4. They built them so they could actually either carry the 8-inch gun or the 155mm gun. If it's 155mm mounted, then that was an M40. This is the 8-inch caliber gun, and that means it's an M43. And it looks to me like Max Shepard's going to come behind RazerTeck. That was the P43 turb being disposed of by RazerTeck. And Max Shepard's covering his rear just in case anybody approached from that direction. And now the enemy is capping. Now we know that from watching the previous replay that it was actually T29. That's the 2-minute hooter. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hit the cap from this angle. No, the buildings are in the way, I think. Pretty sure those buildings are in the way. No, he's got a red line. He's going to have to move. Well, we found the enemy. It's a T29. And I'm not sure if they're on voice comms, but I think they probably were. And it looks to me like if they are, then RazerTeck is telling Max Shepard to kill the T29. He's very low hit points, 65 hit points. Direct shot. Oh, kill shot, 65, and he's out the game. Unfortunately, that's the moment the enemy Arty decided to fire And RazerTeck takes 3 shells in quick succession. Now Max Shepard's reloading. And there's the GW Panther. Oh! Okay, we're dialing in. We're still 15 seconds away from shooting. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 23 seconds left on the clock. Got a solution. Round out. Kill shot! 360 hit points. That's a one-shot kill. And there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. So unfortunately this is going to be a draw. The other Arty didn't come to play, and that's the end of the game. It's a draw. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It was the second class tanker for Max Shepard in the M40, M43. He also picked up a Reaper medal because he actually took out 3 tanks in quick succession with 1 shot. So he picked up a Reaper award for that. And he also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15. A Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other team members. And when he took out the T29 in the cap, he did have sufficient cap points. So Max Shepard managed to pick up a Defender medal. And that means he will get the Courageous Resistance reward, which means that he gets a higher XP and a higher credit haul. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, you can see at the top of the table, there's RazerTeck with 2,894 hit points. Max Shepard managed to get 2,579, and Tiltratt, he managed to get 957. RazerTeck managed 6 kills. Max Shepard managed to get 3 kills, and I'm afraid Tiltratt only managed to get no, he didn't get any kills at all, unfortunately. Didn't get the opportunity to, but he did do some damage, so at least that's something. When it came to base XP, RazerTeck managed to get 752, Max Shepard got 577, and Tiltratt managed to get 269. If we look at the detailed report, Max Shepard fired 12 rounds. He got 4 direct hits, 4 penetration, 8 splash. Damage of 2,579 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 11 of the enemy. That's more than 2/3 of the enemy team. And he also picked up 755 hit points of stun assistance off 9 stuns. And he managed to get 72 defense points when he took out the T29 in the cap. On a premium count, he earned 34,310 credits. Because he gets the Courageous Resistance Award for the Defender, he gets an extra 5,039. That makes his score up to that, to equal that of a winning team. And he also, after ammunition resupply, and he did use 12 rounds of that premium, of that standard ammo, and it is rather expensive, which meant actually he only ended up with 16,908 credits. He did get 4 bonds though, and that's for the getting the Confederate and the Defender. After that, he received 865 XP, 535 for the Courageous Resistance, meant he took away 1,401 experience points altogether. If we have a look at the results for RazerTeck, we can see that he managed to get a second-class tanker, a shell proof for defending or blocking more damage exceeding the hit points of his own vehicle, and he was hit quite a few times by a lot of bounces. He also picked up a duelist badge for taking out 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting more than 5 critical hits, he got 6, a steel wall for blocking at least 1,000 hit points of damage and receiving at least 11 hits and surviving the battle, and lastly he picked up a top gun because he managed to get 6 kills in total. If we can see the win rate for that battle was 3799. The team scores we've already seen, so I'll just go straight to the detail report. When he fired 14 rounds during the battle, he got 12 direct hits, 9 penetration, damage of 2,894 hit points, of which 474 were at more than 300 meters. He received 13 hits during the battle, 3 were penetrations, 10 were non-penetrations. Most of those were bounces from the M445 and the 49. He received 2 hits as a result of splash damage, those from the enemy Arty right at the end, and he blocked damage of 2,370 hit points in total. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, that was the GW Panther. He damaged 6 of the enemy, he killed 6 of the enemy, and he did damage resistance, damage assistance of 759 hit points in total. On a premium account, RazerTeck earned 84,038 credits. He gets the Courageous Resistance Award as well because he managed to get epic medals. In this case, he managed to get the Steel Wall and the Top Gun. And I think the Top Gun counts as the epic medal in this case. So he picked up an extra 10,800 credits, and that brings him to a total of 94,838 credits. And after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he still took away 42,891 credits. He received 2 bonds, one for the Steel Wall, one for the Top Gun. And the XP, he managed to get 1,128 XP, 664 for the Courageous Resistance, and he got an extra bonus because this is a premium vehicle of 179 XP, bringing up a total of 1,971 altogether. And not forgetting Tiltratt, because it wouldn't be fair not to cover him as well in the same battle. He fired 9 rounds. So that's nearly 2 magazines, got 7 direct hits, 3 penetration, damage of 957 hit points. He received 6 hits during the battle, 5 of which were penetration, 1 non-penetration, and he did receive 1 hit as a result of splash damage from the enemy Arty. He only blocked 240 hit points, I'm afraid, and that's because the Samur SM has got paper-thin armour, really. That's why it's so fast. He actually damaged 2 of the enemy, but didn't get any kills, but he did get some damage assistance of 57 hit points in total. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 replays. And you can see then that RazerTeck managed a win rate of 3799, and if we check that, we can see that Max Shepard managed to get 3760, and of course, because we can't see Tiltratt's, we can't see exactly how well he did, but they certainly performed extremely well, Super Unicum standard. And it's just a great pity that the game ran out of time, expired before we had a chance to confront both of the enemy Arty, because I'm sure if they'd had enough time, both Max Shepard and RazerTeck would have gone to the other end and found the enemy Arty. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.